Let's dive right into what we're going to talk about today. So one of the biggest things that I have seen over my career is the lack of doing a SWOT analysis, that companies don't do it. And so one of the first things I do with every client that I come up with is a SWOT analysis on their business, their functions, their people, everything. And you can really drill down this. And what the SWOT is your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. So what you really want to dive in and get into is just lay it out on a piece of paper and just write down strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and just have some bullet points, and then just kind of go through it. You won't think of everything right away on this, right at that second, but you will think of them over time. So give yourself about 3 or 4 days to think about it, and you'll come up with it. So every year, you should be doing a SWOT analysis of how your year performed as a business, how we perform as owners, managers, and then how our employees perform in their areas. So when you do your employee reviews, do it by your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and their threats, because that's better than an evaluation. Everybody wants to know, what is our strength? So in a SWOT analysis, our strength is our brand could be our strength. Our employees are our strength. Our procedures, our policies, our product, our service, any of that stuff can be a strength. Ownership can be a strength. And just what it is, our communication could be a strength. Our market dominating position could be a strength. Our ability to produce the results faster than other people, that could be a strength. All those things that you just start writing them down could be a strength. And then what you really want to focus on is your weaknesses. Where were we weak this year that we can improve on for next year or last year to this year? And so some of our weaknesses will come through that, and our ownership is a weakness. Our employees are a weakness. Our products are a weakness. Our inability to move our business forward is a weakness. Our inability to maximize our profits are a weakness. Our inability to communicate to employees, to leadership, our inability to have our employees be able to communicate upwards are weaknesses. And you've got to think, how do we tackle these weaknesses to make these into strengths? And so if, let's say, communication is one. Well, how do we communicate better to our employees, and how do we have our employees communicate better to us? And that gives us all of these opportunities to take our weaknesses into strengths. Now, that's when you kind of look at our opportunities is, we might have communication opportunities to really dive into some, communication. So if we improve those, if we have that opportunity to improve that communication, how will that generate into revenue, or how will that generate into profit? And so when we really look at that, you want to look at our opportunities, and our opportunities would be like management, ownership, employees, market share, products and service offerings, all these kind of little things that are our opportunities, and our opportunities to communicate with customers and clients, our opportunities to gather data and understand the buying habits and purchasing power that they have, and how it has changed over the years and the coming year, and opportunities in a down economy. Everybody goes to the doom and gloom of, oh no, we're going to come into a recession and what have you, but that's an opportunity for us as a business to get better and streamline our stuff and our products so that we can survive and weather any storm that's out there. So we have our strengths. That's great. Everybody likes to pride ourselves on our strength. That's our ego. That's our building our ego. Nobody really likes to listen to the weaknesses and what our weaknesses really are. So our weaknesses are our opportunities to grow. And doing a hard look at these things really just, it gives us an unbiased opinion of who we really are as a business, an owner, an employee, or a service, or whatever it is that we're doing the SWOT analysis on. And then you'll jump into the threats. What are the threats of the business that we faced last year, and what are the threats that we're going to face this year? And any of the threats that we had last year, how did we overcome those threats? Or did we just push them aside and make excuses for them and we said, we'll do it next year? So another threat is ownership is a threat. Management is a threat. Employees are a threat. Not having the right ones or being able to retain them, recruit them, attract them. Management, they could leave, or they're poor managers. Our ownership doesn't have the all their ducks in the row, so they're a threat to us. They don't have an exit strategy plan, so if something happens to the ownership, something happens to the business because they haven't planned. There's all those kind of threats. The economy is a massive threat, but it's still an opportunity. As well as when you get into other threats, is our competition is threats. How we handle customers are a threat. Our customers are threats. Our reviews are threats if we don't handle them correctly. There's all these threats that come in, but how do we take these threats and make these into opportunities? And how do we take these opportunities and make them into strengths? And if you did a SWOT analysis just on your business last year, at the end of last year, it's a perfect time to do it this year. So you do it this year, do a SWOT analysis on your business, and then do a SWOT analysis on yourself as an owner, a manager, and then do a SWOT analysis on every department and every employee if you wanted to, or key employee. And if you can gather that intel and put that down there and have a constructive conversation with these people, then you are going to take your company leaps and bounds further than any other company, because they don't do this. And I'm going to tell you that because out of the 1,500 plus clients I have seen, I could probably count on one hand how many actually do a SWOT analysis every year. It's something that they have. It's kind of like a business plan. It sits out there. No one does it until I get there, and we do it, and we do the hard questions, and we do the hard things, the reality, because you have to take the blinders off. You have to get outside of your box, and you have to understand what we do good and what we do bad and what we need to improve on for us to be in the business and longevity for where we're going. It is very crucial that you understand the SWOT analysis and implement the SWOT analysis at least once a year for your business, at least once a year for your management, at least once a year for yourself as a manager, owner, entrepreneur, whatever it is. If you have employees, even if you don't have employees, you need to understand what you are good at, what you're not good at, what your weaknesses are, what your opportunities are, and what your threats are. And so with that said, I hope that helps. I hope you implement this into your business, because that is a game changer that 98% of business owners aren't even doing, and they don't understand it, or they're afraid to see what their weaknesses really are. And that is a problem in itself. We can talk about that at another time, but when you really think about it, it's like people on diets. They don't step on the scale because they're afraid to see what that scale says. And really, they're afraid to know that they failed, or they're failing at something that they committed to but not really doing. So put this down, get your strengths down. That's the funnest one to do. Strengths first. Yep, we can probably have 3 pages of how great we are. But the most important ones are your weaknesses. Where are we weak? Where are our opportunities to grow? And what are our threats to our business? And understanding those, the last 3 things, can always push those back into strength. And every year you can just continue to grow and grow and grow. Okay? So I hope this helped. I hope you implement it. Please, if you like the video, hit like, share it, and please subscribe to the channel. Go help somebody. I'll put a smile on your face today. Thanks.